Hi, I'm CL Brown, and welcome back to the second installment of Pickup Lines. I'm here with my man Jimmy Kelly, who had a good debut, 6-1. We're not going to talk about my record right now.
But
That's why we got week 2 to bounce back. We bounce back. So we're going to stick to 5 games this week, 3 in the ACC, including the rivalry game for this weekend. It's like a rivalry weekend. A lot of different like Michigan State, different Oregon State, different schools or different rivalries around the nation all going. But we're gonna stick to the one that gets the most attention. So let us start. This is week 2, which means it's gonna be a better week for me. We're gonna start with Miami at Florida State. I picked this one because Miami played well in the first meeting. They took Florida State to overtime when they played in Coral Gables. The Seminoles ended up winning 80, I think, like by 4, 83-79 in overtime. What's your take on the Canes having a chance to cover the 7? Wait a minute, that's the 13 and a half. Yeah,
I thought you picked this game because of the weather. Because why else would? There's nothing good about this game other than where it's being played, in Florida. The Seminoles, I think, will blow them out. Miami's not good, and on the road they've been known to get beat by 20 plus.
Miami
even at North Carolina that happened.
Yes, you should say that, but you also have to point out that both Chris Likes and Cameron McGusty were out that game at Carolina.
That's true.
I think that Florida State, though, they have a tendency not really to blow out anybody. In the ACC, I'm looking at their scores. Their biggest win margin of points-wise was 12 points against Georgia Tech, and that game was at home. And given that they played tight in the first game, might be leaning towards not taking them this. I'm saying all this. I'm taking the Seminoles too. I was just trying to give reasons for it to be a competitive game, but when you see Chris Likes scored 24 in that first game,
at home,
Miami's
a lot better at home than on the road. On the road, they're just not good.
Yeah, and I think if Chris Likes has missed the last 4 games for Miami, if he misses 5, which I'm not totally sure what his status is for this game, but even if he does come back, he's coming back after missing 4 games, so he won't be the same.
Yeah, he is good. They do miss him, but
yeah,
that's not a good one. Go out to the beach, enjoy the ocean, check the score.
No doubt. We're both going Seminoles in the first game of the day. Second matchup. This is a matchup of ranked teams. We have LSU at Auburn, a noon tip. Auburn is a 5-point favorite over LSU. What do you think?
I like LSU beat them at LSU. I mean, it's a big difference on the road, but I'll take the 5 points at Auburn, and I think it'll be a close game. Possibly OT in this one.
Wow.
Tigers. I feel like, especially if it was football. This is basketball. Actually, you could just go with the Tigers in this one and be good, right?
Exactly.
But I'll tell you, LSU Tigers.
My record from the first week, I think I'm going to do that.
Just go Tigers. Just go Tigers.
Claim it if I need to next week. No, I'm going to stick with the home team in this one. LSU just is coming off a major disappointment on the road. Losing at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt snapped their SEC losing streak.
Maybe a little look ahead to Auburn there.
Game a record. Maybe, but I don't know. Do you really look ahead to Auburn?
Carolina's been looking ahead to Duke all year. That's why they're 10-12.
No. But neither team shoots the 3 particularly well, and especially I think on the road, LSU will have problems with that again. So I'm going to go with Auburn in this one to cover that 5 points. So that's the first one we're different on, and I think
that's a good sign for me thus far.
Based on last week, but you talking that's old news. Last week is old news. Um, Game 3, Seton Hall at Villanova, another meeting of ranked teams. That's a 2:30 p.m. tip, and Villanova is a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, now that one, I like Villanova at home. I mean, Villanova is tough, especially at home. I think they're going to take care of Seton Hall.
Nova, it's funny. Nova's coming. They've lost back-to-back games, which hasn't happened a lot under Jay Wright these last few years in the Big East. And even though that last one, the Butler was literally on a buzzer beater, I forgot who hit the shot. I think it was Baldwin. But anyway,
That was the point
that
guard.
was that was at that was at Butler.
Yeah.
But still, they're kind of reeling. They need a win bad. 3.5. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think that's going to be. I don't know, man. I kind of want to go with Seton Hall in this one, but I do believe in.
Go with the gut.
Yeah, I believe in Jay Wright. I don't think they're going to lose 3 in a row.
And they'll make their free throws down the stretch. They shoot good free throws.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close too.
Yeah. Well, we're going with Nova in game 3. Skipping ahead to game 4, we're coming back to the ACC. Virginia at Louisville, I think, is a very intriguing game. It's a 4:00 tip. Louisville is a 7.5 point favorite.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. Because Virginia's just going to try to slow it down so much. But I think Louisville's going to be able to score on them and speed them up a little bit. I mean, I think Louisville will end up winning by double digits.
Well, this is a different Virginia team, but I go back to 2 numbers. I'm going to throw out a number, more than just 2 numbers, because Louisville's coming in with a 9-game winning streak. But Virginia owns a 9-game winning streak against Louisville, head-to-head matchups. Virginia's won the last 9 straight. And I think.
What were you just saying about the past?
No, but this matters. So Virginia is kind of in the heads of Louisville. Like it's similar to what NC State feels when they see Roy Williams coming to town. It's similar.
Yeah, that's unexplainable.
It's similar to what Louisville went through playing at Kentucky, playing in Rupp Arena back in December. There is a bit of angst that they have, and that this team will have to overcome. I think 7.5.
But Virginia won't score more than 45.
I don't think Virginia still hasn't scored more than 65 all year. So it's not like they're going to be putting up points. But
Louisville will.
I like the Wahoos to cover that 7.5. Even on the road, I am going with Tony Bennett and that pack line defense to come through with the cover. So that's 2 games. I got to make up ground on you anyway. So that's 2 games that we're differing on.
I don't know that that's the one you want to be making up ground on right there.
Hey, I mean,
Louisville is talented. Louisville will score against Virginia, and Virginia can't score. That's the difference to me.
Louisville is very talented, but Louisville at home against Wake Forest was losing for what? Like I forgot when they actually took the lead, but Wake Forest was winning at halftime. Wake Forest was winning into the second half. You can't always just hit that light switch, especially once you start playing better teams and think you're just going to turn it on and turn it off. So that's something that they have to work out.
I don't know that Virginia's that much better than Wake Forest.
You got a point there. But I think that
they are a little more talented.
They are, and I feel like they're a little bit more. They play to their system better.
Yeah, they do.
And it's definitely a difficult system to play against. So, I'm going with the Wahoos. So now we get to the marquee game of the day, Duke at North Carolina, 6 p.m. tip. Duke is a 7.5 point favorite.
I had to get that up there.
Yes. Does that mean you're taking Carolina?
I'm taking Carolina. Buy it up to 8. Take the Tar Heels at home. They're ready. They're ready to play. I wish they had Robinson back. It's gonna make it a little tougher, but I think it's gonna be a tight game.
I think it's going to be a tight game too. I do think Duke is going to win outright, but I do think 7.5 is a bit. I think it's overstating how close this game is going to be. The thing that I look at, the matchup specifically that I look at is Vernon Carey versus the Carolina Bigs, whether it's Garrison Brooks or Armando Bacot, who starts off on them. I think that they can slow him down, and I feel like when Vernon is having a tough time inside, I think the entire Duke offense suffers because they still don't have a consistent outside shooter. They don't have somebody who's just gonna be killing it on threes and keeping the floor spacing.
Carolina helps that sometimes.
Carolina does help that sometimes, but I don't know. Duke hasn't had anybody consistently do that to where a team can't afford to sag or can't afford to double team Vernon Carey. So
yeah, they can get him in foul trouble too on the other end.
That could happen too.
Feed it inside.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, fun game to be at. I'll be in attendance in that one, and we'll see how it plays out. Now, I'll have a totally different prediction when they go back to Cameron to end the season, but this will be in Chapel Hill. I think Carolina.
That'll make a big difference. I mean, they will be fired up for this game, but at some point, talent ends up taking over, it seems like. But with Cole Anthony out there, I mean, he'll make a difference and he needs to make everybody out there better is what he needs to do in order for them to have a chance.
Yeah. Coach K called Cole Anthony a top 10 talent, and Coach K made the point that when they lost Zion for 6 games last year and he came back, there was still a reacclimation. Even though it's funny, Zion was 13 for 13 against Syracuse in his first game back after missing 6 games, so it didn't seem like it. But Coach K said they never got back to playing at the level they were before.
And it's different with a point guard too versus somebody like Zion.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit. I mean, he's got the ball a lot more than somebody like that ever had.
But in terms of
sometimes too much
used to playing with somebody,
yeah.
I don't know. But Coach K was making a point that Carolina has Cole Anthony has to get reacclimated to the lineup, but they have time to do it. There's still season left to do it. And
there's not much season left.
It's not, but
prepare for the ACC tournament is what they need to start doing.
No, 4 games in March.
And I got to throw a bonus game in here. I always have the bonus. The Chiefs with the bonus. They got the W. I like Kentucky against Tennessee. At Tennessee.
What was the spread on that? -2.
-2.
I don't know how I feel about that game.
I hope you like Tennessee. That's what I was hoping.
Well, I've been wrong on Kentucky every time I've picked them so far. Every time. Technically, we've only had one official, but still, 2 points on the road. I think I like Kentucky too. I think.
I mean, they played Auburn really tough last week on the road. I mean, Kentucky, you can tell they're getting better and better as the season wears on.
A lot of fouls in that game against Auburn that Kentucky's complaining against. And Tennessee, I think it'll be a battle early. I think Tennessee will wear down late in that game, and Kentucky, yeah.
And I'll tell you who was worn down. If you watch any of the Auburn Kentucky game, man, Bruce Pearl. He probably needed 2 showers after that game. That man gets after it on the sideline.
I saw the photos on.
Oh my! It was great.
Yeah, of his shirt. Yeah.
He made me go to the refrigerator and get a Gatorade. He was sweating so much. My legs started cramping up watching him jumping in.
That was something else. Well, we hope you enjoyed this installment of Pickup Lines. For entertainment purposes only, of course. And we'll be back next week with more picks, hopefully more wins for me. And click on CL Brown Hoops for more coverage of ACC basketball. Please click on the like and subscribe buttons. to CL Brown Hoops YouTube channel.